everyone. Thank you all for joining me today. My name is Jermaine of Web Hosting Throne. You can find me at webhostingthrone.com or simply Google Web Hosting Throne. Okay, so today I'm going to show you the use for the HTML property called span. Okay, that's as SPAN, span. It is just another HTML property. It has real useful functional use. I'm going to show you how to use that on your website or in your content whenever you're publishing a post or article. Okay, so the use for it is to implement a certain element into your paragraphs or whatever you want to implement. Say for instance, if you already have a defined property with some styles. Say for instance, you have a style. Say for instance, the color. I always use the color because it's just simple and to the point. Color is orange. Okay. And you want to remember to close it off so you can, let me see. This is all the code is going to stop to right here, and we're going to use this paragraph right here. Okay, say for instance you already have a defined element. You have the style indicator, and you have div. This is the opening container that you're going to be using. Okay, so, and you have everything's defined. The color is orange. This paragraph is orange. Let's preview it. Just to give you an example. Let me see here. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so it's orange, right? So say for instance, if you wanted to say, okay, some bloggers you just don't want to hear, some bloggers just don't want to hear la 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 la, and you wanted to chime in on a certain piece of content where everything is already defined. Everything's already defined under a color element, orange. So say, okay, well, I want to point out something in this content. Well, span is just for going into the content in your content and redefining something different. It doesn't have to be the color. It doesn't have to be anything. It could be whatever you want. But what it does is instead of this entire thing being orange, you can change the text properties. Say for instance, you can say, and you want people to see this more, you can go in and change this. You could redefine your text. Say SPAN, and you want to say redefine. You can say, let's close it off. We're going to re-edit this piece of content right here. So what it does is just it's just going in and changing. You see, changing the elemental property. You see, say style. And let's see, you want to change the font size. And say for instance you want to change it to 20 pixels. And I'm going to look at it and see how it changes. You see how it changes? So all it does is just goes into a already defined paragraph. Like this is already defined. This is defined by default. You can also you don't necessarily have to be you don't necessarily already have to be using a using HTML. You can simply just if you just wanted to target a specific piece of content in you want to just target a specific layer of content, you can just simply say, okay, well, built in, or built in. If you want to specifically target a piece of content, you can use a span for that, and you can edit that piece of content without using div. Let me see. Style. Always use a style key equals that indicates you're using CSS. And let's say we want to use font weight. And again, you could, of course, you can highlight this and use the bold key to increase the weight of the font. But I'm just going to use this as an example. Let's preview it. And as you can see right here, you see how it's bolden and built in WordPress. That's bolden. The weight, the font weight is darker. That's 900 is the highest. Or you can put bolder, or just study up on CSS, CSS documentary, the CSS technologies. Simply Google CSS, learn CSS. But that's basically all it is. It's just going after a piece of content, not really the entire layer. For instance, this is a good example right here. I use the H2 tag, but within the H2 tag, instead of going here, I can also have said style and blah blah blah. But I use the span tag, HTML tag, and this is what you get. Right here. I use the H2 tag, but I use span to change the color. All right, so thank you all for joining me. My name is Jermaine, and just know that span is just for overriding content, overriding a piece of text that may have an overall value, HTML value that's already set. Like if you had div and it and everything is already set here for whatever color, or if it's the position or whatever it may be, it's already set within div, and you're just overriding a little piece of text with span that you may want to just change the elemental value. All right. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jermaine. Visit me at webhostingthrone.com, or simply go to Google and find me at Web Hosting Throne. And if you found me on YouTube, just go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.